Alright guys, today is June 28th, and although I did not title this a random things video, it actually is, but I just wanted to save room in the title section just so that it wasn't like ridiculously long. But if you've never watched any of my videos, I usually tell you all the random things that God uses to get my attention so that I can give a message. It could be a song, it could be random things I see, it could be a dream, anything like that. But I also have a series of videos where the beginning of the title says random things, and I will put what it's about. So this is technically one of those videos of just random things, but I just titled it Teach Me How To, because I'm going to go over a lot of different things. The song that God kept bringing to me was that Teach Me How to Dougie song, and this is not, I don't know how to do the Dougie, and I'm not going to teach you how to do the Dougie, but the purpose of it is teach me how to. So that's going to be the random things I'm going to go over that God has brought to my attention, and it's not just for me. This is things that could help you, you know, when the time comes that you're going to have to do these things, okay? I also kept noticing the word truth, and I kept being led to the number 1717. Now, in John 17:17 from the NLT version, it says, make them holy by your truth. So that grabbed my attention immediately because I had been seeing the word truth. But also, the next part is teach them your word, which is truth. The only reason why this grabbed my attention specifically is because it also said teach in there. You know, take everything to God. I always say I'm just a person, but what I'm going to share with you is not something that is like, what is it called? It's not things that are going to do you harm. It's things that's actually going to help you, regardless if this is a message that God used different things to bring me to. These are just random things that it is good to know how to do these things. So I'm going to start off with, this is something really cool, okay? My sister, oh, I jumped ahead. So first I had heard a song playing in the background of an Instagram video that my sister did send to me. And it was Jungkook of BTS singing, but he was singing in English, and he was doing a cover of a song called Paper Hearts. I don't know who it's by. I never looked it up because I didn't need to look up what the song was about, because my sister, when I went over there on Sunday, a couple Sundays ago, whatever, it doesn't matter. She got something in the mail, and she asked me if I wanted it, okay? That is a paper heart, okay? And I just started laughing. So how this fits in with the next thing that I'm going to talk about is this paper heart that's on there. It's actually seeds. And so this talks about how you can plant this heart, and it tells you how to do it, and it will grow flowers. That also goes with how I just kept seeing, and I've mentioned this before, people doing gardening or like turning their backyard into a way to plant and grow fruits and veggies. I also, during the month that I was not making videos, kept being led to videos about planter boxes and how to grow herbs or different ways that you can start growing your own plants. And he kept bringing my attention back to these things that I bought and never used. And these are just little seed things, so you can plant this to start your little plants. I also saw videos of, let's see, how to use, like I said, storage bins as planters, how to start a plant growing from fruit that you buy from the store, like tops of pineapples, things like that. There are videos out there. I should have said this at the beginning, but I was led to a YouTube short of a girl who, she's like an artist, and she creates things, and fixes things, restores different like picture frames. She's just crafty. And someone had asked her, how did she learn how to do this? And she was like, yeah, I just Googled it and learned how to do it. So that's the point. You may not know how to do these things, but I'm encouraging you to go look these up to learn how to do these, because there is going to be a time where you're going to rely on your ability to do these things. I was led to Strong 644, which means to bake. I've often talked about how in the morning I bake bread. This is something that God placed on me to learn how to do a long time ago, which I have now been able to successfully bake enough bread. This hair is just in my face. Enough bread to last a day. So every day I can bake a little. I use a cake pan, so my bread is always round. I'm not a professional baker, so to me, I don't care if it's pretty. I can use the bread. I found different ways to make sandwiches. I can make toast out of it. I mean, it's just food. It doesn't have to look all that great. I'm not trying to sell it. But I know now how much flour I need, how to make bread with some yeast, how to make bread without it, how to make flatbread. I know how to do these things so that flour that I'm storing or flour that you may be storing or prices at the store are going up, it might be cheaper and more affordable to buy flour and to make your own bread. So it's just something to learn how to do. Under my kitchen table, I'm moving on to the next thing. So under my kitchen table, there's this like a little, like a cubby. You can put something in it. I barely ever use it, but I had bought these glass mason jars because I was making this salt water like electrolyte drink. Maybe something else you might want to learn how to do. It wasn't on my list, but these kept getting my attention because I had to buy a 4-pack because I didn't want to buy a 12-pack. But not only did I notice this, but God kept bringing me to my memory all the times I randomly saw people canning things. I don't know how to can things, so this is something I'm going to have to look up, how to can food. I also kept being led to videos of people who learned how to store food by canning it, but they learned it from their grandmother or great-grandmother, how to make these foods that helped them when there was a time of depression. And also different videos on how to make your own survival bars or nutrition bars, things like that. There's one out there. I'm not going to link any videos in there. You know, this is for you to go out there and find the best way that is for you to do it, because there are so many different ways. You got to find the one that's best for you. You're gonna fail at doing a lot of these things. You don't know how many times I baked bread and it was horrible, or I forgot to put salt in there. It was just so bad. But you know, my husband's so kind, he just ate it anyways. I don't even know why. But don't be dismayed, especially with the baking thing, of making a mistake and failing at it. Okay, so just be ready and be prepared to not get it right the first time. I happen to be one of those persons who I'm like, if I don't get it right the first time, I'm like, I'm not good at it. But it took me forever to get down the baking thing. I'm going to move on to the next one. Is for some reason I started thinking about like, when was that time I gave this lady at church my number? Like, I was thinking about how we first started talking, which was so weird to me because why do I even care? But it was something that was brought to my mind. It was because we were at a women's breakfast. Sorry, my lips are dry. And randomly we started talking about sewing, and I talked about how my mom had passed and my dad still had her sewing machine and her serger. And I said, man, I really wished I had learned how to sew using those machines because I can hand sew little things. But that's how we exchanged number, because she started sending me links to different videos that really show beginners how to use a sewing machine. So I don't know how to use a sewing machine, but I have access to one that I don't have to pay for. So I should learn how to use it. And if there's a way that you could look up a video on how to sew, if you don't know, or how to hand sew, even if it's just the ability to make a repair on a shirt or pants, or the seams come undone, it's a handy thing. I made an entire, why is this coming to my brain? I have no idea, but I made an entire medieval times like Barbie dress for my high school English class. This is so weird. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I made an entire dress without having to look up anything, because back then when I was in high school, you know, I didn't always have access to a computer. We didn't have smartphones. I just figured out from old Barbie clothes and laid it out there how to make these things. So it is possible to do them. What a weird random thing to start talking about. Also, I have shared on here many times that my washing machine broke a long time ago, and there are times over these months that I could have afforded to buy one, especially a used one, but God hasn't really placed it on me to do so. I go to my dad's house to wash majority of my clothes on Sundays, but there is a dual purpose for that. And one day I'll share it, but it does allow me to spend more time with my dad, and I appreciate that time. But it's another thing because I already know how to wash clothes. So during the week, if there's little things to wash, I do a little bit. I was doing a little bit every day because I felt bad about taking so much laundry to my dad's. But you know, my dad and my sister, because my sister stays with my dad, I almost lost my train of thought. But yeah, the clothes thing, it's not a big deal to just wash a couple things. If my daughter has a favorite pair of shorts she wants to wear, I could throw it in the sink and I know how to wash it. But I've also seen YouTube videos about how to hand wash, which I was like, why? I already know how. I didn't look this up. Why is this here? I wasn't actively talking about it, so it wasn't one of those things where Google's listening or YouTube's listening. But it was for the purpose of this, so that you guys, I could tell you guys to learn how to hand wash your clothes if you don't. The video was a woman learning, like she was teaching it using rainwater that she had stored. So that's another thing you can look into, is how to store rainwater. Then cooking, learn how to cook if you don't know how to cook. In the beginning, when I first got married, I did not know how to cook. I spent a lot of time buying like just frozen meals all the time before I was married. So I had to learn how to cook all these years. Now I'm pretty good at it, but it is not something that you're good at right away. And if you're not someone who cooks and you prefer to order out, or, you know, look into trying out cooking, as well as I wrote on here, because the price of meat is so expensive, try to incorporate learning how to make a vegetarian style meal, just because it will come in handy with the inflation and things that are going on. Next, I kept noticing barbershops and beauty salons, which of course I've seen videos of girls learning how to do their own hair, and girls who like to wear fake nails, they've been learning how to do their own nails at home. But for me, I know how to cut my daughter's hair. I know it's just simple because they're young, she's not asking for anything crazy. But also my son's hair, I have always cut all of their hair. I've never taken them to get a haircut. I learned how to make it look good. So I went from, when they were younger, just doing a buzz cut, you know, short for the summer, let it grow, and then, you know, shorten it up. But I learned how to do the little, what is it called? You know, where they have the part here, the little boys cut, and short on the sides. I don't know how to taper very well, but I know how to make it look like a decent haircut. You would never know. I had a friend who cut hair and they were like, wow, you did a really great job. So it's not difficult if it's a need, you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to make myself sound like I'm just great at hair cutting, but I've made myself learn how to do it, because for me, haircuts are expensive, and over the years they are even more expensive. My oldest son, he has a job, so he wants this fade looking thing that I don't know how to do, so he goes to pay for the haircut, and sometimes it can get kind of pricey. My hair, I know how to cut my hair. My hair is naturally this wavy thing. I don't know, sometimes I flat iron on here, but I know how to trim my hair. So this is something that God's been leading me into sharing, that you might want to learn how to do these things too. And then yesterday I saw a YouTube short about a girl who was just shopping. She was saying buy this, not that, that whole kind of thing. But she also said a recipe for how to make your own air freshener, which got my attention, because I'm like, ooh, that would be nice, because it's made out of natural things, but also it's about saving money. And I'll get into that in a minute. But also the last one is how to make your own things. And this is going to go, one, with showing you that you can make your own items, but also these last couple things are going to lead into that whole saving money thing. So this is a basket that kept getting my attention. It's like a little wire basket, and it has the burlap on it. I made this basket. So, well, not the metal. I bought the metal basket at Dollar Tree, so $1.25. And I bought the burlap ribbon or whatever there as well. So one roll. And the string is a tweed string, but I already had it, but you can buy it at Dollar Tree too. So let me move this heart. I weaved in the burlap. I did it again at the top. I folded it so it had a nice edge. And then I used hot glue. And because these baskets have a wide thing, I don't want anything falling out. So I covered the top part of some cardboard from leftover packaging, like a pizza box or something. And then because I wanted sections, because I put big markers in here, pens and pencils, and then like this one I put staples for my stapler, like little things like paper clips or whatever. You know, this is on the table when we do homeschool. So I built these too. I just used cardboard and kind of hot glued them where I wanted. So this was so easy to make. But to tie in all that stuff, because it does lead into the next video that I'll post probably tomorrow or the next day or maybe Monday, you know, my next video will be about ways to save money. Sorry, the light is like blinding me. I can't even see myself in the camera. But anyways, like that's it. So this is about learning how to do stuff, and also leads into different ways you can save money. One thing I thought of right now, back to the hair stuff, I don't know if you've noticed, but there was a couple videos back where my hair was darker because for some reason I decided I wanted to dye my hair black. Unintentionally, I stripped the black out of my hair, and see how my white hair right here is just as white as it was before. It's because I use like a baking soda wash for my hair instead of shampoos, and baking soda naturally will strip a color out of your hair without damaging your hair. So not only did I learn by accident how to remove hair color out of my hair for like no money at all, but it also fixed a mistake that I made on my hair, and it also is saving me money. So if I mention this again in the saving money video, that's why. But I did learn that by accident, baking soda will take the color out of your hair. So if you made a mistake and you dyed your hair a color you don't like, just start doing a baking soda wash on your hair and it'll come out. So anyways, guys, always find the light, and I will be back with my next video in a couple days, if not tomorrow. All right, thanks guys. Bye.